The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. You landed here and it's no mistake. You best believe this could be your break. Rub-a-dub-dub, check out the hubs inside. A winning team is here to be your guide. Oh, my friend, you've been looking for a brand new day. I got good news, only a click away. You can click on any hub, 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 hub. You are sure to feel the love, 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 love. Got some stories in my book, hope you'll take the time and look. The message in this simple read, teens, young adults, help them succeed. Scroll on down, got more to say. Go blogs, let's take it away. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know your worth, no need to beg. Selling with no pressure is more fun. Instead, financial freedom has been calling you. Come join a hub, see what it will do. Come on and dance along with me. We go into the next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level. 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 Next level with Keith. The next level. The next level. The next level. Next level with Keith. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know your worth, no need to beg. Selling with no pressure is more fun. Instead, the next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith.
Welcome to the Next Level with Keith, where clarity replaces confusion and simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise. Rethinking your thinking, because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small, intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk, it's guidance, it's strategy, it's movement. Welcome to the Next Level with Keith. Let's begin.
Well, let me say welcome, 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 welcome to the Next Level with Keith. That song got me pumping, y'all. I don't know about you, but that song right there, that song got me going. So let me just calm down and breathe a little bit. Yes, welcome to podcast, episode 12. Oh, my. The 12 sons of Jacob. Look at that, huh? 12 disciples. 12 is a big number, man. 12 is very foundational. I love 12. So, tonight, it's very interesting podcast. And tonight, I'm going to probably be the most realist. Doesn't mean that I wasn't real before, but me being a pragmatist, and you might have heard me talk about it in one of my podcasts some time ago, I'm somewhere in the dead center, in the middle. So I tend to look at both sides and try to negotiate things and try to balance things out. That's what I do. Now, it's a good thing to do that. It's needed. But every once in a while, we've got to, as they would say, hit the bull's horn and hit it dead center. All right? We got to grab the bulls by the horn and just go at it. Because sometimes when you deal with people, sometimes we sometimes need something called a shock therapy, an awakening, some kind of jolt. You know, you see, sometimes when a body is has gone through certain trauma, all right, could be an accident, or when they're close to dying, right? They shock them, try to get that thing back in place. So a lot of us, we have been culturalized, and the new word, sleeperized. Oh, good God Almighty, they're making up words now, right? Not vaporized because we're alive, we do nothing, but we have been put to sleep, and it's been done through many different means and ways to get us trapped in this thing that someone call the matrix. I mean, contextually, I know what they mean by that. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to what we got to do, sometimes we just got to save ourselves. Sometimes you just got to save ourselves. Now, folks, I'm on this podcast right now, and the platforms that I'm connected with or partners with, who knows where they are? People are watching from far and near, different backgrounds, different cultures, right? Different nationality, languages. It's all over the world. So if I see one of my lives and I'm seeing 1,500 views or 2,000 views, somebody somewhere is watching. But look at my pigmentation, y'all. Look at my pigmentation. All right. Sometime take some clues. All right. I'm a dark skinned brother. I'm heavily pigmented. Are you heavily pigmented as well? You know, think about some things and see how we need to network and see how we need to build ourselves. All right. Now, whenever we put some out there for our sisters and brothers, all right, remember the other folks who are watching too. And if you don't take what is there, somebody else may come and say, you know what? You don't want that thing. You don't think it's valuable. So I will come and take it myself. So sometimes we look at each other and it's like we look in the mirror and we see ourselves that we don't like. So when we see someone that looks like us, we tend not to probably like it either. That might be what's going on. That might be just what's going on. But anyway, as you can see on the screen, podcast.keithmarriott.com is the place to be. And tonight, I'm talking about the minefields, the online minefields. It's for real. And for many, it's very petrifying. It's extremely scary, intimidating, overwhelming. All right. And understandable, quite understandable, given the time that we're living in. All right. And sometimes not knowing enough, sometimes you feel even more nervous because you wonder if you don't know enough to make the right moves online. And it's getting more trickier with all these different stuff and apps and techniques and different AI tools that's coming out. All right. I would hear things like, if you take this number and plug it in here, you can track the person's every move. That's some scary stuff. But I digress a little bit and let me just kind of get refocused here and talk about something. But tonight it's going to be very different. And I want to kind of give the engineer a heads up on tonight's program because I've talked a lot about hubs. I've talked a lot about different things. I've talked about, you know, about what I'm about. And I talk about you, like I, who are freedom chasers. We're not static, all right? We are in motion. We're chasing after something, all right? And it's our freedom. So I call it freedom chasers, all right? And talk about how we're thinking, how we have to readjust our thinking. Sometimes we have to unlearn some things, have to unearth some things. I talked about the importance of coaching, the importance of mentorship. I've talked about those things. I've talked about the fixed mindset and the open mindset. All right, and the growth mindset opposed to the fixed mindset. I've talked about those things. I've talked about how we should look at different strategies. All right, how we need to get within a network where we can find the support. You right? And so what I'm gonna do tonight, because I'm such a visual person, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna go through my podcast site because I'm seeing great and wonderful comments, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing the movements to back it up. And the point is that some of you are just plain lazy. Why are you so lazy? Why won't you get up? You're hearing them say to you that the job forecast is real. The jobs forecast is real, right? However, because it's real, we have to take that step, and it will require somewhat some assistance. But you got to make that move, all right? You got to make that move towards making it happen, all right? Talk about the entrepreneur. Beware of the online minefields. And I can put my hands in the air, both hands and both feet, and say I was one of those guys who was caught several times in the minefields. Sometimes I got a little blown off leg right there and a blown off arm right there. That's figuratively speaking, y'all, okay? Sometimes I would get some hit to my face and, you know, I'd fall down, get knocked over because that's the real, that's the real part of the whole game, the whole process. All right. There's almost no escape. However, it can be what? Greatly averted or lessened if you are with the right team, the right persons. I'll tell you something. I remember one time, this is many years ago, we did a walk. It was like a long, maybe 4 or 5 mile walk, and they had to walk from one location and then walk into the park where they're going to have the main event. And as I walked with the crowd, I felt so much more energy as if I was opposed to me walking by myself. I would do the same walking by myself, and it feels a lot more burdensome and just feel tired. Like, man, I can't wait to get to my destination. But walking with a bunch of people for miles is like for some strange reason, the synergy, the energy of everyone just walking in the same formation, the same direction as one. You feel energized. It's like, wow, you can walk for miles. It's amazing. So, again, community is a big part of what we are here about. All right. Beware of online minefields. All right. Now, this podcast is designed for what? Everyday people. It is, right? And especially those, like I said earlier, who are freedom chasers. You know who you are. All right. A lot of you are just having a hard time making that change, that switch from just the job mindset and say, you know what, let me just explore. Now, I am observing that it's happening more and more, and I think it's because it's being promoted more. All right. A lot of things are saying if you're over 30, 40, 50, come on now. It's not too late. All right. And, a lot of companies are capitalizing on the fact that there's so many job losses over the last year and a half or so, even 2 years. And they're saying, see, you want to get to something that can get you what? Get you qualified, get you some kind of credential, right? And then won't cost you too much. See, you don't need to go to college. I've seen many ads where they say if someone who actually did it month's course cost them $20, and guess what happened? That person after that $20 learning AI tools, they were almost more valuable than someone who just finished college. Now, not negating the college experience and what the person went through, that discipline, because that's that by itself is commendable. Sometimes when someone say, what's your do you have a degree? Did you finish college? What it's saying too, in essence, is that you actually started something and finished it. You showed a certain level of discipline. Why I want to hire you. All right, and those are very important things. But the point is that internet we know is not the same internet that we knew 20, 30 years ago. All right, it's a lot more happening there on there right now. It's very sophisticated. All right, a lot of things are pulling you all different directions. All right, and they all are doing very attractive marketing. A lot of aesthetics, eye-catching things. All right, and so on this journey, many of you may be new. We call you newbies. All right, your 30s, 40s, and pretty much all you know to do is what you know how to just pretty much text. You may copy and paste here. You scroll on TikTok. You go on Facebook. You do your little Instagram. Some of you take a little video here and there. Lots of pictures, of course, right? But not too deep into the online acrobatics, as some would say. All right. You don't have a YouTube channel, and when you had your Facebook, it was your granddaughter who did it for you, or your grandson, right? Or maybe one of your kids. All right. So you don't even know how it works. And some of you, God help you if you lose your password, you go nuts. All right. Point is that it has changed and it's changing very, very rapidly. And you don't want to stay absent or ignorant of what's going on, because the longer you wait, if you're forced to get on and do certain things, then you're now like a sitting target, a sitting duck, lacking experience. You're more scared, you're more anxious, more than likely, things are going to go wrong, right? And you want to avoid that. So now, one of the best ways is to actually go about this is to get into a community that there's a level of what? Relationship and trust. What I'm doing here, I am saying I'm willing to put my time in there. I'm willing to be disciplined by showing up here every Monday night at 9. I'm showing you that I am first setting the example to be here to say, listen to me, we can do this. All right. I'm willing to spend the extra money for my set to look better than it did before. I'm willing to make the brand be more highlighted so that you can remember more of what it's about and how you connected to this. It's all designed for not just me, but for you. But a lot of us are just lazy. We really don't understand that we have to make the move. We have to get out of our slump, right? It's happening very, very fast, all right? And I want to take a little time out before I proceed and just have you have a moment for partnerships. And we're going to deal with WAMO at this time.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the next level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, we don't just promote brands. We position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door. Partnership expands the reach.
Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries is a global church without walls. We're serving communities through live services, prayer intervention, and outreach that changes lives. Support our $500 monthly giving drive at wamoe.org/give. Shop with purpose at faithmerchandise.com, featuring Dr. Faith's Miracle Lemonade. Book Dr. Faith for therapy, speaking, or ministry at drfaithreborn.com. Grow through professional connection and vocational training at theexcelproject.com. Subscribe to our monthly newsletter and follow us on socials at WAMO Ministries. Become a great motivator. Help us empower minds for success in the kingdom of God.
Yes, WAMO, Women and Men of Excellence, great ministry. And as you heard, their goal is to raise $500 per month. And I thank those of you who are really supporting with your small tax deductible donations. I appreciate you for that. We appreciate you for that because these are very, I would say, carefully picked or looked at organizations. All right. And I like boots in the grounds kind of organizations. I would never want to really like churches that was closed all week long and open the other week, and during the week there was nothing much going on there. And a lot of them didn't even donate to other ministries when they were closed. So to see ministries like these so actively involved in the community, it's refreshing. It's a blessing. Yes. So as I was saying earlier, I talked about the minefields, and I'm gonna give you some examples of how crazy and scary this can be, but not to be scared. All right. Now, have I made you mad yet? I said earlier that some of y'all lazy. Didn't I say that? Some of y'all is lazy and need to get out of your slump, out of that seat of procrastination and waiting for somebody to carry you. There was an old Bible story of this guy. It was at the pool. I think it's called the pool of Bethesda. I think. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name correctly. Maybe if my engineer knows it, she can probably put it on the screen. And he was there for 40 years. And every year the water would come and be troubled. The angel would come and trouble the water. It's a Bible story here. And so he wouldn't be able to make it to the water. Right? He was crippled, right? But anyway, Christ one day showed up on the scene. And when Christ met him and said, "Hey, what's going on?" He kept saying, every time I try to get to the water, someone goes ahead of me. Now, the man, there was no name for this man. So sometimes when there are no names, put a name on it. Is it me? Am I that guy or that lady that's in that crippled state and saying others are keep going ahead of me, others are rushing ahead of me, and I can't make it? Is that what we're doing? Are we Are we making excuses here, or are we taking responsibility? And so, the fact that when Christ met him, Christ, listen, man, take up your thing and walk. Because what he had was in him. He kept looking at the wrong thing. He kept looking at the wrong thing. And so, thank you. Bet Seta. Bethsaida. Thank you so much. They pulled up Bethsaida. All right. And for 40 years, this man was stuck. Couldn't get his healing because when the angel would come by and stir the water, those who get in there would get healed. Now, a lot of us don't subscribe to the Bible, and I get it. But I'll tell you something that Bible that we sometimes overlook and sometimes don't understand some of his principles and some of his teachings, mind blowing. If we were to capture some of that stuff and implement it, oh, we be whew, to the roof. But I digress. The point is that the thing about minefields, look at stuff like bot that's been generated, fake reviews that sometimes you see. So I may have this podcast here. You may be watching and saying, I don't see that many, they'll call it activity in the chat. I'd rather have 10 real persons that is responding than 100 that's fake. Call them bots. All right. And sometimes folks fall for the shiny objects and they get caught. All right. Look at this. Deep fake videos promoting scams. That means they can mimic a site and fool you. Looks authentic, like they have real we call it you know, testimonials going on. The people are crying and they get all emotional how they found value in this thing and it's fake and catches you. Phishing emails, very personalized. Sometimes when it comes to you, it's a name that you may recognize, and you impossible to click on it. Do you know how many times I get text that says, "Oh, hello, Jeffrey. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to call yesterday." It's not Jeffrey they're trying to reach. They know I'm not Jeffrey, but they want me to respond, "No, I'm not Jeffrey. You have the wrong person." And in that small interval of just communicating, they could deficient to hopefully get something from me, information, access, some way, shape, or form. Serious stuff. All right. So scam is on an all-time high. And scam is not just happening locally. There are folks who are in the far corners of the earth, in some basement somewhere, in some little room, doing some hideous things, some crazy stuff, getting people in America and all over the western part of the world, taking their money. All elderly people, all right, who are so inexperienced with computers and they're like sitting targets. They are a prime example of what can happen when it comes to the online thing because they are old and to some degree you have to give them some kind of grace because a lot of them are just they're at the age they weren't born in this age like we were. They didn't understand how computer work and they may be 80 90 and they're getting scammed out of their savings, their retirement. Happens so often. I've seen it on the news all the time. And maybe you have as well. So it's real. So we understand that it's a serious thing. They can copy voices, mimic brands, and create believable stories in seconds. In seconds. All right? But guess what happened? I'm not here to preach doomdays or doomsday. I'm not here to be a bearer of bad news. All right? Because guess what? There are good news. All right? There's good news. Awareness is what will change everything. See, awareness. All right. So some of you have been watching this podcast for a while now. All right. And some degree you feel a certain level of trust. That's important. That to me means gold. Trust. All right. Some of you is like I know you already because you respond and you communicate and it's a great thing, and it's expanding, it's growing, and that's what I want. Like I said, there are folks who are from Podbean, they're from iHeartRadio, YouTube, some of them Instagram, some on TikTok, and different places. All right, and they're watching, and I just want to make sure that each week counts. All right, but the way it's going to really count is when you make it count as well. All right, by doing and of taking the value that's there. Now, if you hear the song that I wrote as the program started, it says, if no one decides to do anything, it won't cause me not to win. See, I would understand that there are physical principles and there are spiritual principles in life, right? And one of the things that I've learned some time ago, and thank God, is that when you believe something and you speak it, that is an extremely powerful weapon that a lot of us don't know we have. Now, to my mentorship, I've learned this. I always say sometimes no before I even hear what the person is saying. It has become such a habit that even when I don't mean no, my mouth said no. So now what am I doing? I'm trying to change those things, the language, and I'm getting better. There's one time I used to do a lot more. I can't, it's hard. But even if it feels that hard sometimes, I don't say it. I don't have to say it. I don't have to give it to that energy or that pull, all right, to confirm it. Because sometimes maybe it's not really as hard as it really is. Maybe I'm maybe emphasizing a little bit more than I ought to. Maybe it's not even necessary. All right. So you'll find that a lot of us, we kind of embrace that mindset that's not healthy. So what do we want to do? We want to cultivate a growth mindset. Now, is it easy? I can't say it is. But most good things, is it easy? Find that gold, that diamond, that pearl, right? That sapphire, right? That stone that we like so much, emerald, and those nice precious stones, and the pressure they go through to look that way. Woo! The pressure, the heat, the intensity. I would say, wow, that's a beautiful stone. And some of us would pay thousands of dollars for all those things because we see the value when something is pressurized. So when you see me here like this, it's not this ordinary guy that just sitting there in a white shirt. I have walked the walk. I've spent the money. I've lost many times. I have made some dumb decisions. I've made some really ridiculous moves in trying to what? Trying to make it online. And because of some of those moves, I now can help you to avoid a lot of those pitfalls. It's that simple. So I don't have time to actually come here and waste your time. The things I've done and I'm doing right now that I don't even need this podcast. I'm telling the truth. I don't need this podcast. I feel driven to do this. I tell you what's so funny about this. I was actually over the years branding other things. Lotion, potions, pills, thrills, you know, different programs, affiliates, matrices. I mean, you name it. And it dawned on me, said all this time, the only thing that didn't really change was your name. Even that rhymes. The only thing that didn't change was my name. Isn't that interesting? So when I say the next level with Keith, for me, it's not an ego thing for me at all. I'm telling myself something that I needed to, that I told myself many years ago. All right, it's not about bragging and ego. That's the least of my issues. Right. So there's a lot I have inside of me. I have a lot of things that I'm attached to. All right. So why not? It's like if I have a house, if I have a house and you walk into my house, I have a couch, I may have a chair, I may have a pool table, I may have a swimming pool in the back, I may have a lounge area where you can just lounge in, I may have a big screen somewhere where you can watch some entertainment. Now, when you come to my house, you can choose to what? Go to different parts of the house and enjoy what you feel most desirable or most comfortable in doing or what you want to do. So it is my house still, right? If you look on the deed, it's one name on the deed, right? It's owned by XYZ. But the house has different amenities that you can embark upon, you can enjoy. So this podcast, I'm going to break it down and I'm going to tell you why you want to rethink your thinking. But before I go there, another moment for partnerships. And let's look at GFIH Ministries.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the next level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, we don't just promote brands. We position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door.
Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministries is a Bible-based ministry. Through worship, prayer, and deliverance, we help individuals find restoration. We equip believers to build stronger families and healthier communities. Footprints of Faith Radio shares real stories of healing and hope. Bible Talk for Children helps kids develop strong moral foundations. Apply for sponsored digital advancement support for growing your reach. Your support makes this possible. We're aiming for a $500 monthly goal. Support, partner, or give today at gfihministries.org/give.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was also another wonderful partner that we are highlighting there. And GFI's ministry, again, is a really powerful ministry. They're expanding beyond the borders of just locally or nationally, but they have a major international connection going on in different countries. All right. Tanzania, looking at Ghana, looking at Nigeria, um, Nairobi, some other places, but I'm really excited to see what they're doing. So again, you've heard their monthly ask, $500. And if some of you have given or have given already, just type in the chat, give. All right. So we can highlight you. All right. It'd be great to know that you're supporting these ministries who are doing such a, I think, a fantastic job. And yes, again, it's tax deductible. All right. So whether you're $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever it is, it's tax deductible. So that's a good thing. All right. Yes. So looking at tonight and how I want to really get into this thing here. Looking at rethinking your thinking. Looking at that real, I would say, grassroots fundamental approach. See, when it comes to what I just explained earlier with the minefields, with the complexities, and sometimes the dangers that one can face online, it's normal to feel fear. It is. I mean, I felt that way before. Um, it's normal to feel fear when you're exploring the online space. All right. You know, questions like, what if I get scammed? That's real. That's valid. What if I fail? That's valid as well. What if I make the wrong decisions? All right. That's that's true. It can happen. But fear doesn't have to stop your progress. All right. So yes, there's fear, and it should make you aware and be at least be alert and aware, which is good. So here are three powerful mindset shifts that builds confidence. It can help to build your confidence. All right. Very important. So it's called embrace a growth mindset. I might have heard that before, thrown around here and there, but it's for real, and it's not easy because a lot of us, we are no adults, and we kind of set in the ways. We set in our ways in a way where it's like, man, can I move from this place? All right. So instead of focusing on everything that could go wrong, focus on progress. Right? What could actually go right? All right. And then guess what? When you win, when you make small wins, celebrate that. Don't think of it as something that's simple. I remember when I first created my YouTube channel. Oh my God, I was like, woo, wow. Now, some people may not be much, but I know how I felt before I even attempted it. I want to finally ask around and I ask around and I ask around and someone showed me. I was like, wow. All right. And there's things that I've learned from my coach that I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, something simple as knowing how to upload something on Instagram or TikTok. Like, wow, that wasn't so bad. And you kind of just happy for those little small things. Those are wins. All right. So those are things that you can do. Celebrate small wins. Um, you can read books like Mindset by Carol Dweck. Right? It's called Mindset. It emphasizes, of course, it emphasizes growth, which is important, and it talks about learning, and it talks about not being perfect. All right, not being a perfectionist in the process. All right, you can join communities of people like-minded. All right, who may have some of those real same experiences, fears, like you do. Um, so I also want people who actually came through that and is having success as well. Very important stuff that you can do. All right. Two, build strength through smart learning. All right. So knowledge is what? Protection. So that's why I would say things here on my podcast that you probably know, I've never heard before. All right. And hopefully you'll, maybe compare notes. You will maybe do a double check, and doesn't hurt to actually do a double check on anything, because what I say may not be accurate. Sometimes things change. What may be okay last month or last 2 months or last year may be different this year. So I may say something to you, but it doesn't mean you can't double check on it, because I can be wrong. I can make a mistake as well. All right, but I try to be at least current as I can. All right, I think that's important. Uh, so yes, so you build strength through smart learning. All right, spend time learning what cybersecurity stuff, basics. You know what I mean? Digital business fundamentals. All right, there's many things you can do that are on a basic level. All right, so build strength through smart learning. Very important. Um, you have free platforms like Coursera, right? It's spelled Coursera, right? LinkedIn Learning. All right. Entrepreneur communities can help you recognize a lot of red flags. So the things you can do to empower yourself and make yourself more aware of the minefields out there. Three, visualize success and connect with kindred spirits, people who are like-minded, you feel a connection with, you have a sense of, of community with. All right. And that's a good place to start, right? Each day, picture what success looks like for you. You know, have a vision board, if you will. You know what you want to be in 6 months from now, in 9 months from now, by next year June. What you want to see yourself at. You can go with a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ahead, and just mark what you'd like to see happen. All right. How I'd like to actually be able to do this online by June. I'd like to be able to do this online by this date. And those are small goals, but at least it set you on a path of actively engaging in your own growth, in your own growth mindset, right? Activity is important. I spoke to someone today and they said to me that don't just look what a person say, look out also what they do. That's a key thing. And I'm going to kind of just let you get a visual of something here, because I want to walk you through this podcast today. I won't rush. I'm gonna take my time too, and I want you to get some things because a lot of you may be thinking, okay, I'm not sure what to do. All right, I'm not sure what to do. But before I get to my next important thing that I want to address, I want to actually give you a visual of what's happening here on this podcast. Engineer, if you can take me from the top and take me down slowly, and I'll tell you what's happening here on this podcast. Take me to the first where the book is. I think that's the first thing I wanted to highlight. Now, if you look at this book right here, all right, if you can see it. Now, that is a merchandise. All right. Now, when I brought my book to this network, I didn't see other merchandise in my mind. But the network, the coaching, the mentorship show me that. Now, if you don't mind, can you show the other thing that they can actually get access to? I posted that's the book. Show them the other merchandise that's there so they can see that it's not just about a book. Even though I was thinking just the book, it's more than just the book, the merchandise. So when I had different merchandise, some folks may want a t-shirt. They may want something else beside the book or along with the book. So now that is something that now I actually want. Get in place. Look at that. So you look at this right here. You can see the book is still there. To the left, what do you see? An amazing hoodie. To the right, what do you see? That's a merchandise. To the right, you see a t-shirt. All right. And that could be just a small synopsis of what is there and could be there over time. All right. If you will scroll down to the other first hub. Now, if you look at these hubs, right, and you say click on that digital hub for me real quick, if you don't mind. See, it tells you what it's about. All right, so you can know, have an idea what it's for, what it's designed to do, or to kind of help you with. See those different headings? All right, they're there for a reason. They're there where you can have a discussion. You can be actively involved in this community. All right, you can get inside, and there may be some information there that you can actually help to get you into believing. Because a lot of things that we want to do, sometimes it's a mind shift. So if you go to one of my hubs and you see a video, it's a video to let you start thinking about some things. See, I talk about jobs. See, and this is serious. You watch that video. It talks about what the next 2 3 years going to look like, and that was one of many other people who are telling you the same thing. All right, and so while you're afraid of being online, while you may be afraid of actually, you know, getting out there and taking that first step, guess what happened? You're delaying your chances to be effective when it demands of you to go there. All right. And so therefore, I'm just want to give you a visual that is right in front of you right there. So when I'm speaking, I want you to realize that you have it in your hands. You click on the passive income hub. All right. It has some of the same features. You can join, all right, become a part of the community. All right. And then you can get access to whatever resources that's in there to build your own confidence. And you may get tools and tips, and you may get different inspiring speeches, 7 things. That's a very powerful thing right there. Become unstoppable. All right. And so the things that's curated for you, I talked about my experience um getting off the medication. All right. I talked about my experience with, oh, I've tried different things, over 8 9 10 things to to address my health, and what worked. All right, and which product worked and why I used it. You may have someone who's in your family who has hypertension. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. I'm going to tell them my experience that I've had and other people I've had. All right, who they can go in there and they can try the reds and greens, other things, the perfect food, perfect body, incredible product. The guy will give his testimony how he had a heart attack and how it just saved him. Some of you know people, especially in the black community, y'all, black community, who knows somebody who has hypertension, high blood pressure. I went to an event and I asked somebody if he knows anyone. He said, "Which black family do you know who don't deal with high blood pressure?" And that was pretty starking to hear. The fact is that these are designed for you to actually go there and take active moves towards what we're talking about. So we don't want to talk the talk, we want to walk the walk. All right. You're looking at Family Protection Hub. All right. We have a Family Protection Hub. If you scroll down a little bit, and that talks about the family, how you can protect your family in different ways. Well, there's going to be legal protection. All right. Even certain foods that we eat or don't eat. It's protecting our health. All right. So not just about legal protection. It's physical protection, right? It could be protection in health wise and insurance things like those. In case someone what may have a business and they need that insurance protection. A lot of you out there, you're entrepreneurs. You're out there on your own. God forbid something happen when you get sued, or you need a lawyer, or maybe just an advice. You can log in there and see what's there for you to uptake. See those different packages. Some of like for single family, could be for you and your family, cover your family. Some of you are like small businesses or large businesses, organizations. These are things that's there for you to uptake. All right, because I've used them and I've seen the benefit of it. I've given you stories about my experience getting caught out there, with the popo, as they would say. And thank God I was able to utilize these things and save me a lot of money and stress. Who want that stress stuff? All right. So Family Protection Hub, check that out. I see you guys. I need to see you guys be actively engaged in these hubs. That's how I know that is going to the next level and the next level. The responses are great. All right. The responses are great. And the idea that you watch and view is great, but you saying this to me, I tried this thing and it worked. I tried, it's working. I tried and it was easier. I'm getting more confidence. Oh, that would let me go really crazy. Now here we have the blogs. All right, and you can check out the blogs. I mean, I do one just about every week, and they're rich with a lot of different information that you can also utilize it. So this right here, as you're looking at this, if I dare to do this, I can maybe go to where the network is so powerful. Maybe go out to this and maybe share somebody else on the network, share another person in the network who I can touch base with. Maybe I want to go to uh maybe some uptake some HR. How would I do that? How is that possible? How would I be able to get to this thing? And I need some work in my business. I need some help, and maybe I don't have the time or the skill sets yet, but I can hire someone to actually help me with the area of my business. It's amazing. Right in the same local, the same community. That's how we say we're building and we're supporting each other. How about I say, you know what? I want to look at somebody, some ministry. All right. How do I get to that ministry? How do I find that person who's in ministry? A lot of you like ministry. All right. We can go to ministry. We can choose one. It's not so hard. All right. It's right there in front of you, just a click away. And most of you can click. You're clicking all day anyway on your TikTok and all the different things you're clicking on. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So we can move around. It's like it's interrelated going on here. You know, we cross pollinated here. That's what we're doing. We're sharing the love. Don't you feel the love in the hub? I'm telling you, y'all, got to feel the love in the hub. So here we are looking at even going to one of the one of those very underground war cry, right? They have a powerful thing going on in the city where they are like really discussing some very important, relevant topics, right? And we can see all these are different partners, different individuals who are saying, "Here, I can I can do this for you. I can do this for you. I will take your service, use my service, interchangeable, right? And still maintain our own individuality. All right, it's just a small sample. I don't want to spend too much time going over all of these things, but just to give you a quick synopsis of what we have here. All right. So before we go any further, because I got some more to show you, we're going to look at how we're going to stack and grow things. Or we're going to kind of looking at my experience with stacking and growing, and how you can start stacking and growing yourself. Yes. We're stacking it up. We're stacking it up, y'all. So I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Hope you're not bored. If you are, I'm gonna get you. All right. Now, listen, folks. This is real. Um, life is not easy. All right. Life can be challenging at times. All right, and grueling sometimes. But when I tell you how I'm grateful for people who really have the discipline to do what they do to make my job easier, I can't tell them thank you enough for that. The team, I am so incredibly grateful for what they do, because I know that what they do takes work, it takes effort, it takes commitment, dedication. All right. And so very thankful for that. Um, but looking at stacking and growing and looking at how we look at that phrase, right? Success online really comes from the big moves. And that's why I took time to show you, give you a visual, because some people just need that visual to get them over the edge. Like, oh, okay, I see how it works now. All right. Some folks are very daring. They're like, they're like risk takers. They're going hard and fast. If they crash, they crash. But some folks, like, put their little toe in the water first, and then their feet, and then goes to their knees, and then they go up until their necks. All right, I get it. All right, they want diving right away. All right, so the small things are what you look at. And some of you have been watching this for the second, third time. Guess what happened? You're stacking. You have stacked some things to the point where some of you commented. You left comments on my videos. That means that you've been stacking. Some of you have been thinking, I need to reduce something. That's stacking. Some of you are saying, I got to get up and get active. That's stacking. Because think of the last time you said us to yourself. You said up words to yourself. Maybe it could have been a year ago. Could have been 6 months ago. You said, I'm gonna get up and do it. But now, here comes 6 months later, except this time you probably mean it more. Some of you probably started some things already. Maybe you're saying, you know what? I think I'm gonna move some things out of the way. I think I'm going to do this, do that, and by Monday or by this time, I'm gonna go at it. All right, and that's the reality, and that's a good thing. So looking at stacking and growing, all right, it starts with some strategies. And one of the key strategies I'm giving you tonight, one of the most, I'll say to me, the most basic strategy is that a community is the first place. If you've landed here, I think you found one. Now, it's up to you. I can't tell you what it is, but I think based on what I know about this community, what I've seen, or what I'm seeing happening, I think you found a strong community with people who are experienced, knowledgeable, passionate, and I think that's a good place to start. All right. And look at my face. Aren't I trustworthy, y'all? Look at this face here. Look at this. Look at this face. Come on, y'all. But the point is that, we work together here. We're trying to make it happen. We're trying to make it purposeful because the folks here will tell you this, that they can do other things. They're fine without this. They're more than fine without this. I'm telling you, facts. All right. A lot of things here that people get right now. Believe me, a lot of people online, they're getting peanuts as far as money wise. A lot of people are not making money online as you think. All right. So a lot of times you find that when you don't have the persons that's saying ownership in your mind constantly, you're never going to get it. A lot of us going to stay in that job mentality. I'm not disrespecting that jobs. I'm not disrespecting the jobs or say it's a bad thing, but some of y'all know in your heart you should have left that job 10 years ago. You know you should have left the job 10 years ago. 2 years ago, you know you should have left that job 20 years ago, 15 years ago. You know that in your gut. But because you let that pass and let that time pass, you feel now it's almost in next to impossible or improbable. But he meant to let you know that it's not. And the beauty about stacking and growing, you don't have to leave your job right away. There's no demanding you jumping and skipping from the frying pan into the fire. We're not anxious to do those things. All right. You're going to take it one step at a time. And is get yourself acclimated to a network that is solid. All right. And so forth. So, technology, you have skills, then it needs relationships. All right. You need consistency. All right. So, you have technology. All right. Plus, you have the skills. Then you have the relationships. Then you have the consistency. Man, you have a winning, we call it, I would say, a winning formula right there. That to me is a winning formula. Technology plus skills plus relationships plus consistency. And a big part of relationships is just trust. Many people I've shared with in the past. I've shared things with them and it's a key. Just because of you, I do it. I mean, I don't necessarily think that's the best thing to do, right? But it meant something to me that they actually say, just because I trust you, I see how you move, I'll do it. All right. And I'm happy, I'm glad for that. Um, But let me share some very interesting data with you. All right. And this is going to show you how powerful stacking can be. Companies like Real Brokerage use stacked strategies, all right, recruitment systems, training platforms, and digital tools to what achieve, excuse me, to achieve 83% growth in 1 year. That's increasing revenue from 689 million to what 1.226 billion. Amazing. That's research, that's data. About 20% consistent skilled stackers can earn six-figure income. Or they say earn, they actually earn that. 20% of consistent skilled stackers earn six-figure incomes. Affiliate partnerships using layered strategies increase partner revenue by 192% overall. Right? So online what industries continue to grow around 10% annually because stacking works. They start small, layer the skills, add systems, and momentum follows. You say, well, I can't make a system, but it's already been made for you. That's the idea, right? The skill sets are in the community. It's been made for you, so join the system. Let the system work for you. That's the power. And this segment, I'm going to ask someone to just kind of share something. I'm gonna go into your currency is your circles is your currency. Your circle is your currency.
The next level, the next level, the next level, the next level with Keith.
Yes. So your circle, man, your circle. Because some people, when you hear me say it all the time, sometimes it's good to hear from another perspective, another energy to see that this thing really is powerful. So I'm gonna ask Coach Raquel to share something with you. You won't see her because again, she don't care to be seen like that. She really don't. Powerhouse. She knows what she wants to do for people, and she has a passion. So, Coach, just kind of give us some things to look at when it comes to or circle and how we sometimes miss the mark, or how can we utilize the mark, or we can unearth ourselves to understand the power of our circle and why it's a currency.
I think the stats you just went through. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for for having me. Um, I think the stats you just gave were just powerful. They were just really powerful, and it pretty much cements all of this discussion you've been having. I really think it pretty much cements it. And as you stack skills, tools, strategies, you pair those with support systems, right? You support
Mm,
you have that you build you learn to build a network of reliable people around you. And as you were going through, may I share something? Like as you were going through I can hardly think, because let me tell you how God is so powerful.
yes.
God is so powerful, Keith. You know, as we were here talking and everything, there was an incident, there was a something happened today, and one of my weaknesses is walking away. I'm very quick to say, okay, you're not ready. Okay, I'm gone. As this is what I say to my clients. You take one step, I take two. You stop
Mhm.
walking, I disappear. And as I was sitting here, you said something that was so powerful. You brought up the man who sat by the pool of Bethesda Bethesda, right? For
That's correct.
38 years.
Oh yeah, There's 40. It was actually 38. You're correct.
Right. You rounded it up. It's fine. I mean, I'm not a biblical person. Just when you brought it up, and I tell you, when you brought it up today, I was writing a response and I was looking for a verse in the Bible. Honestly, that's not because I was having a conversation and the voice in my head said to me, Raquel, you have to know who you're talking to. And for some people, you've got to talk to them with Bible. That's what God said to me today. For some people, they won't even connect if you don't talk to them with Bible.
Mm.
And when you said this verse, I'm like, look at the verse. That exactly captures exactly the point. There are people who will be listening to this podcast, and they come in, day out, and they're listening day in, day out. And they're coming hoping for that day. There's somebody who said, there's no feeling. Getting ready is not a feel. You will never feel ready, because being ready is not a feeling. It's an action. It's a choice. It's a decision, you know? And as I sat here, and then as you did that, you went down, and I saw the stats in the thing. I hadn't seen them before. I hadn't gone through, I hadn't seen them, you know? And I saw the stats, and I'm like, God knew the plans I had in my mind. And God knows I have a meeting tomorrow, what I decided to do. And this is it, right? There are going to be people who are connected to you who will miss this. And because they miss this, they also miss opportunities. As you were there talking about the increasing because your statistics really show how when we stack as networking partners, how we can expand.
Yeah.
Right? You talked about the affiliate partnerships using layered strategies increased partner revenue by 192. Now, that is stacking strategies, right? But who do you think implement those strategies in order for you to win? Your people.
Yeah.
Your network partners. You can't stack strategies if you don't have the people who will command each strategy. So, for example, one of the things I do in my network, our network that you're part of, is we look at what are the key things we need. And you find the partner for that thing that you need. For each arm that you need that partner for that arm that you need, because that way, then you don't have to take everything on. But some people are so fixed in their minds that they only know how to run a people business when people are not available anymore. People are busy. If you are actually stacking strategies and stacking people, you don't have time for one person to pin you down. You want people who own their role, own their position, seek solutions. I'm telling you, that man sat there. And as you were there talking about it, I sat to myself, even when you spoke about the growth mindset and stuff like that, because I think people know the power of network. Because there's a thing called knowledge, what do they call it? Information. I can't remember the name. Where you have the information, but you just won't use it.
Cognitive information.
Cognizant. The word is in my head, what I can't say.
Yeah, it's not coming out. I hear it's not coming out.
In dissonance. Dissonance.
Okay, there we go.
Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Even the people who are talking about networking, are they networking? Let me ask you something, Keith. You've been telling us you have this powerful network. How much time do you invest in this network to study it and know it? Let's just put ourselves out there.
The question, that's rhetorical.
I'm asking you, how much time have you invested in learning the network, understanding it, staying in touch with it? How much time
I could say that. I could say that being in the space of having the routine job and your
Mhm.
routine life, I've seen where I've actually increased my
Yes.
time in understanding it.
Yes.
And I would say I would tell anybody that I'm not the one who may grasp things quickly right away, some
Right.
things, but I know that consistency. A part of what I
Mm-hmm.
do is I stay consistent with something and I eventually get it. So I am
Right.
learning, I'm understanding some things, and that's why I felt the need to even to
Yes.
show, give a visual tonight, because
Mhm.
sometimes the visual kind of push
I
you along.
love
Like,
it.
okay, here things are. Because I'm telling you
Yes.
that I struggle in that area of getting things
Mm-hmm.
quickly, especially
Yes.
online things. I struggle
Right.
in the area of sometimes connecting things. That's why it's good to
Right.
have a network. So the more I do it, and the
Yes.
more I do it, is the more
Yes.
it becomes more second nature. It becomes more. I become more fluent with it, and I
Yes.
feel I'm being more effective with it. So
Yes.
I
And what
wanted
if,
to
what if
show,
I
give the
challenge
viewers
what you just
a
said?
visual on it.
Mm-hmm. What if I challenge what you just said to say to you? Is it that there's a challenge that you have getting it based on what you just said? Is it that you're so, or is it just you're learning something new and it requires?
Yeah, I think it's multiple things. I think that's one
Yeah.
really. Because
Yes.
a lot of us up in age are considered adults.
Mm-hmm.
We may grasp it a little slower. You know what I'm saying? Because technology is something that it has changed so fast. If you don't stay with it,
And I'm
you
going to
kind of
challenge that again.
you
Is
feel
it
that
that
you
you're learning slower or it requires more investment of time?
yes. And guess what? Most of us who are older have
Yes.
little time. So how can we now?
Or, or
How
we
can we
plan.
maximize the time that we have
There
to
you
be
go. And this
effective?
is it, right?
Hmm.
This is today. I don't remember his name, but he's a well known person. He was having some conversations with some young people. And he
Yeah.
was saying, he said to them, he said, listen, you young people need to interact with us older persons so you can move faster right here among young people. And we older persons need to connect with you younger people so we can be, what was it that he said, wiser among our age right here. No, it's not our age, it's not wiser. He said something that we can move more knowledgeable up here because you have the new knowledge, you're giving us the new stuff,
Yes. Yes.
and we're giving you the old stuff, and when that
Yes.
connect, what happens, right? So this
Yeah.
is it for me. When I hear someone use words like I'm slow or I'm challenged or it takes a little longer, you know what it tells me? You're not connecting. You're doing it on your own and you're walking another person's path. Because if you're on your own path, then you shouldn't feel slow. Remember, your path is created for people like you. You're going to have people like me who some persons look at me and tell me I move fast. No, I don't. I'm moving at my pace. I'm just in my own lane. That's
Right.
why when
Right.
people try to get me out of my lane, I say, no, I've got to stay in my lane.
But you know something, if I can add to that, that's so powerful
Yes.
because I think of
Yes.
when I do my gigs.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it for so long that I almost know how to anticipate half the time. I know how to prepare. I know
Yes.
how to navigate even the most spontaneous situations. Right? It's like I know how to really just navigate it. And it feels to me it feels smooth, even though to others it may seem like, wow, he's so flexible, he's so adaptable.
And
And
the
I've told that
reason
many
they look
times.
at you and make those comments, Keith, is
Right,
not.
right,
I
yeah.
have. I'm going to ask you this, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, but this is your show, right? And we're
Yeah.
we're giving
You
persons an
put me on the
example.
spot, Coach
Yeah,
Raquel.
because one of the things I want us to understand.
It's good. It's growth. It's called
Yes,
growth mindset, right? So we want a growth
yeah,
mindset. We gotta be
thank
prepared to
you.
be put on the
That's
spot
what
and get
I'm trying to bring across because this is it, right, Keith? A lot of persons think that, oh, it looks easy, oh, it's so smooth, oh, it's so that, because guess what
yeah.
happened? They're not seeing the challenges yet. Right? They're not
Yes.
experiencing the
Yes.
challenges yet. I'm gonna ask put you on the spot because I think we need to show people that listen, I'm here, but I haven't got it all together yet. But I'm not that
Exactly.
man sitting at the side of the pool. At least I'm dragging. You see, that man is sitting at the side of the pool, you know. Imagine if he started pulling himself. It might take him a longer time,
Yeah.
but he would be making progress.
There you go.
Somebody would see him dragging himself and help him. But let me tell you what
Yeah,
happens
that's
when I
true.
say, if you stop moving, I disappear. And
Wow.
I please permit me to share, but I'm going to ask you first. Have you seen this week's weekly boost yet?
You know what? I'm not sure if I did. But I saw some
Okay.
other things this week. I saw some other things, but I'm
All
not sure I
right.
saw the boost. But I
Maybe
saw
you
some
saw
other
that,
things.
but
Yeah.
we're gonna add accountability here. I
Yeah.
haven't checked the boost for this week, so I didn't see it. It's okay to say that. Put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Accountability is okay. So there's something there you haven't seen yet. See?
Right.
So it is something that, and so you have to look, okay, why haven't I seen it? Am I doing, how do I set it up so that this comes to me rather than me going to it? Do you get notifications? Are you set up for notifications? So you see, when you're doing your music, you know why it seems so easy? One, you've been doing it for a while, so you've been preparing
Yeah. Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
while. So, but even when you're doing something new, there's certain degree of investment you're putting in it. It's just that it's become so habitual that it seemed like you didn't
You
do
see,
much.
yeah, that's
So
true. That's true. Yeah.
you did as
Yeah.
much as you've done before.
Yeah. That's
You'll
so
be
true.
amazed to know you had to drive to the event the same way. You had to
Hmm.
make sure you were good with the song. There were
Yeah.
so many things you did like you normally do, but because it's a habitual thing now, it's a part of habit, it's something you enjoy doing, you're really into it. So it seems so seamless. When we
Exactly.
talk about people coming here and stacking and becoming parts of network, we can't bring high school or university group work attitude to this thing.
Yep.
You have to,
I'm going to also be very, very, very transparent about it too. You
let
see,
us.
and the thing is that when it comes to a network, all
Mhm.
right, again, I approach network from who I am, all right,
Right.
or I think, or I look at things, or I will grab my attention
Alignment.
first, how I stay with some things, or
Yes.
what I may be drawn to this week. So a lot of things. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I mean,
That's okay.
I'm gonna say,
You're being
today
honest
I
with
just
your
want to see.
audience. I'm just a guest.
Like I remember last week I was like, I want to see I want to see the Money Wednesdays,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Free Wednesdays,
And
yes.
Free Money Wednesdays, and
Mm-hmm.
I watched, I think, about two episodes of that. I
Mm-hmm.
just loved it. So I'm thinking
Right.
now, because that's a part of what's there. So I wasn't
Right.
thinking about anything else, like my
Right.
mind didn't go there. So the
And
beauty
and
about
that's why we're
sometimes,
having the
right?
conversation.
So yes, so that's why sometimes a part of being a freedom chaser and having that
Mhm.
passivity is that you're not so rigidly bound to A, B, C, D, or E,
And I
but
get that
you
key. But I
navigate
also
around that.
I want your
Right,
audience to know something.
right. So you
There's a
understand.
responsibility on you to be in
Right.
awareness of what's happening.
Yes.
And that's why I say passive does not mean you're not aggressive. You when you're pursuing ownership, you have to be aggressive. You
Yes.
just have to
Yes.
find what you're going to be aggressive towards, right? But this is
Yes.
the beautiful thing about stacking with digital.
Yeah.
It can come to you. So what I'm asking is, have you set up systems so it works for you rather than you working for it? For example, I get a notification whenever something is posted. I don't have to book time to read it. I just open the notification, browse a little, see what it is. Even if it's just the title that I see, I will know, do I want to read further now or later? But if you ask me about that, I can say, I saw something today, that notification. You see? So when I'm asking, I know what I'm asking for.
Oh yeah. And
Also
and
got
and
the
I'm
answer
gonna
is
say this too. I'm gonna say this
but I
too,
haven't
Coach.
read it yet. So, but the reason I'm having this conversation is not just a benefit for you, it's for the audience to remember. You're going to
Yes.
get out of something what you put in it. So
Yes.
it's not about, oh my God, this is going to become laborious or whatever. A lot of labor for me. That's not even it. But guess what? To even take that out of your mind, I wouldn't even advise. You should tell yourself ownership requires labor. And then because it requires labor, you're going to sit down to say, okay, how much hours does it need out of me? How much do I want to give? Now that I know it takes this much, what can, who or what can I get to help me not make it so laborious?
Right. So
You
in other
see,
words, get those
it's
systems
your
again. But we're just saying to maximize the system
you can
that's in place.
implement strategies, but you cannot implement the right strategies until you actually this acknowledge what is required.
Right.
So if
Right.
from the onset you're saying, well, I want passive, so I don't want to have all of that, then how are you going to get the passive?
Right. Right.
I
Right.
want the audience
So,
to understand that passive is not an attitude that you come with and say, oh, I just want. No, passive is knowing that a 3-bedroom house anywhere in the world will require certain things. No matter where you take it, no matter what shortcuts you take, there's certain, let's say it requires 10 things. It requires 10 things. Now, if you only want to get engaged in 2 parts of those things, you can't ignore 8 of it because you only want to be in part of 2. No, you have to see all the 8 and then decide, who can help me with number 1? What can help me with number 2? Which system can I use for number? Stacking your systems.
Right. And you know what? I like.
But first, you have to be able to see the entirety of
Yes.
the process and what it requires of you. Because guess what happened, right? Even though you have now assigned or aligned those 8 parts with people and technology, who do you think is going to manage and give oversight for those? You.
And
You can't
you know,
just give it to them and say bye, and you're gone.
you know,
Right?
the reality is that, and what you're saying is very, very powerful. Again, you see, you know, I like to. So there's something about connecting and feeling that connection. Now, life is not easy. I've turned up to you. Actually, always have to.
It's not hard
Over, over,
either.
in other words, overcome your feel your emotions, because your emotions
Yes.
are very powerful. That's what I mean by that.
And they're
So
flaky
sometimes
too.
it's like sometimes you want to wake up in the morning, but you feel like you want to sleep another 5-10 minutes, but it's like
Yes.
you're feeling like, okay, I gotta go, but man, my body's saying lay down for another 5 minutes, not 15 minutes, and you have to fight yourself to get out of that feeling because you have something important to do.
Like the other day you were
So
sick, but you did the podcast anyway. To be honest with you, I was saying you could have just said you didn't want to do it tonight, and I would have worked out something for you. And you said no, I wanted to do it, and you know what? The
yes,
fact that you did
you mean
it,
that
the
that was
podcast.
like a month ago.
I
Was
don't
it a
even know.
month
I think
ago?
it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yes, maybe, yeah,
And
that
I'm
was.
telling you, and I'm telling you, Keith, there's something different that happens when you do that.
Yeah.
When
So
you, because
sometimes we
guess
got to
what
push.
happens? Yeah, but guess what? You are doing that push for other people's dreams.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know. We are making these sacrifices for another person's dreams. But we have to ask ourselves, so why is it when it's mine, I lag? Do you know there are spiritual attacks that come when you want to do your own, when ownership?
Oh
It's not,
yes, you
remember,
know
the many things that are
that's a
happening in a
real.
kid. It's not just you feeling lazy.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real.
No,
That's
but I'm
real
telling you
talk.
because I've been there. I'm a 9 times over entrepreneur, and I've had to sit with myself and say, okay, what's the outcome that you want?
Yeah.
What's the outcome that you want?
Yeah.
Because you can sit here the whole time,
Hmm.
but what's the outcome that you want?
Yeah.
Can you, what kind, how are you going to help other people if you can't help yourself get out of bed when you can't get out of bed?
Hmm.
How are you going to help other people? You're talking about your network and stuff, right? You're saying that when you do the podcast, you want them to move. But if you're not able to keep up with your own network stuff, so how are you going to ask them to keep up with yours? You see, if we're not,
That's
when
a
we're
good
not
point. That's a
talking
good
from a
point.
real place, you know, when we're not talking from a real place, people know. People know. People feel the energy. We think we're just doing this physical thing or no, it's a spiritual thing. This is work unto God. When you talk about a network and alignment, what are your responsibilities and accountabilities to these network partners? How often do you check up on them just to check on them? Do you know all the members in the network? Have you connected with them? How do you know your clients aren't in there somewhere waiting for you to find them? Like the man on the pole. At the pool. You know what I mean? But I would like to share this with you because the reason I want to share it with you is because I want you did not see this that you said, right? You said you have not seen this.
The weekly
Correct? The
boost?
one that was posted today, right?
No, not today.
Right. But I'm going to read it and let me know if you heard any alignment and connection with what you just shared. And that will answer your question about the power of network. I hope.
Power of network.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go through and I'm going to read it. You haven't seen it, and
Mhm.
I had not read your script, right? Let's go. I'm going to share this with you and read it right through. And I'm going as fast as I can to not take up too much time.
About how long is it?
It's how long is it? It's not very long because it's a boost.
Okay.
It's not a blog.
Oh yeah. Go right ahead.
It is. Okay, so I'm going to read as fast as I can as well.
No, take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush. Want to
Okay.
hear what? Want to hear the word? Want to hear each? Want to hear every word now? Want to hear the
Yes.
words?
Because I want you to listen, and I want to know if you hear any connections with what you
Yeah,
just presented. All right.
sounds good.
When the system tests you, objective, choices, and mindset. There is a moment that quietly reveals how we approach life. It usually happens when we encounter a system, a process, a structure, a set of steps we must follow to move forward. Sometimes the system feels inconvenient. Sometimes it feels confusing. Sometimes it feels harder than we expected. And that moment becomes a mirror. Because the question is never really about the system. The real question is, what do you do when tested? The system is just a stage. Today it might be a digital platform. Tomorrow it might be a business process. Next year it might be a financial structure, a leadership role, or a life opportunity. The system changes, but the response we bring to the system often stays the same. Some people stay with the process until they understand it. Others retreat the moment friction appears. And that difference quietly determines who advances and who stalls. The objective, choices, mindset framework. When we encounter friction inside a system, three things become visible. One, objective. What is the real objective? If your objective is growth, the friction becomes part of the journey. If your objective is comfort, the friction becomes the signal to stop. The objective determines how we interpret the challenge. Number two, choices. Once friction appears, choices follow quickly. Do we slow down and learn, read the instructions, test and explore, ask thoughtful questions? Or do we abandon the process, look for shortcuts, try to bypass the structure, move to something that feels easier? Our choices reveal whether we are building capacity or avoiding discomfort. Mindset. And underneath both objective and choices lies mindset. A growth mindset says, this is new, let me figure it out. A fixed mindset says, this is frustrating, let me escape it. The system didn't create the mindset, the system simply exposed it. The hidden lesson behind you make it look easy. Sometimes people say you make it look easy. But what they are often witnessing is not ease. They are witnessing persistence in the presence of complexity. This right here, skill is rarely about brilliance. More often, it is simply the willingness to stay with the problem longer than others do. The bigger question, where else is this showing up? This is why the system matters, not because the system is important in itself, but because it reveals something deeper. If we retreat from small friction, we often retreat from bigger opportunities. If we abandon learning in one area, we may be abandoning learning in other areas. And over time, those patterns shape our outcomes. The ownership question. We often talk about external barriers, racism, inequality, obstacles, age. Those realities exist and they must be acknowledged. But there is also a quieter question that belongs to us. When the path becomes difficult, do we stay with it long enough to master it? Ownership requires more than opportunity. It requires the discipline to remain present when the work becomes uncomfortable. Because the truth is this, winning rarely belongs to the person who encounters the fewest roadblocks. Winning usually belongs to the person who learns how to move through them, learns. Emphasis on that word. And so, in closing, the system is not the enemy, it is simply the classroom. The real lesson is not whether you like the system, The real lesson is how you respond when it challenges you. Because today it is a platform, tomorrow it will be something else. And every system you encounter will quietly ask the same question. Are you here to win, or are you here to withdraw when it gets difficult? Your thoughts.
Interesting. Yeah, that was a powerful read. I mean, I see a lot of connections there. I kind of
I
remembered
know, right?
as you're reading this, I'm thinking about when I'm like with my personal trainer some years ago, and we're
Mm-hmm.
doing this workout. I'm like, I'm done. She's like, no, 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 no. You can go more. And I was saying, I'm done. You know, what I'm saying, I'm sorry, but you don't want to feel it here. But
Mm-hmm.
I pressed my way through. And
Yes.
believe me, in about a month or two, they were like, "Key, what are you doing?" Folks were saying, "What are you doing, man?" I mean, you
Yes.
working out? Or you?" They were saying something. I wouldn't say nothing. I was like, they were seeing stuff. I'm like, I didn't even see what they were seeing. They were saying
Yeah.
like, So I mean, it really is it's a powerful read, and like I said, I do see the connections there. I
Yes.
know that when we deal with the audience out there, it's a mixed audience, and they're
Yes.
different. They're different personalities,
Who are
different
you
people
talking to?
watching. And
Who are
and one thing
you
I always
talking
say, one thing I always hear you say that they're silent watchers.
to?
All right.
Ah,
Now,
yes.
so with me, I tell folks, I gotta be me. I gotta be real. All right.
Absolutely.
And even when it sounds like you may be, afraid, or maybe, backing off, or maybe not confident, or maybe overconfident, whatever it is, whatever comes out. The point is that I tell folks there from day one, when it comes to online stuff, for some reason or the other, I can't tell you how many times I've hit notification button. I'm like, did I press something wrong? Because I'm like, I was notified. I've done it so many times. All right. This is a simple example. So I know the people out there like me were like, the computer stuff, they're like, they in that 40, 50, 50, 60 age. They're not, that's not that far from their thinking. Not even close to their thinking. And I get it. But there are those who are very intrigued by it. They want to get into it. And that's why, you choose, you come on board, and so
So,
on.
what do you want
Now,
those
there are things
persons
that
who
no,
tried 50
sorry.
times and didn't get it? What is
So
it you
so
are going to take from this show?
yeah, so I think to walk away from the show, I think that, again, see, I put myself on the line. See,
Mm-hmm.
I got a spanking tonight. You can see, what I'm saying. My buddy's sore, right?
Oh,
He beat me up. I'm not seeing this. I don't
no,
know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on
no,
there. But no,
absolutely
it's she's the best. But the reality is that I understand that what if you go through, what you have to overcome. Sometimes you have a job, you have things happening so much that you don't talk about, and then now, when you bite size here, sometimes you don't get to bite enough. And when you bite too many things at one time, you feel like you're kind of not even eating right. Your body, because some things need good time to really bite it and get it. You can't take a little bite and run. I find that I'll be more effective when I spend time on something and get it. All right. And many of you are the same way. So a lot of times, yes, I would miss something, and sometimes I would do it deliberate too,
mm-hmm.
not because I'm trying to be a hero. If I
Right.
said right now, I'm in this space
Yes.
right now, and
Own
all I
it,
want right
Keith.
now is just that.
That's it. That's it. That's
You
the
see,
power
that's
right
all I
there.
want is this. And so
Yes.
therefore, I find that, but when I'm intentional about something, I rather
Mhm.
get one thing and
Mhm.
build on that. And
Right.
build on that. So what you're saying makes perfect sense. I got to step up my game, of course. Try to be
Well,
more, at least,
if I
at
may
least at least
interject,
at least more, more, I would say, maybe more, I think I need to do something more often, like set
yeah.
my alarm for
Mm-hmm.
like things, because sometimes
Yes.
I have it in my mind. I really would.
Yes.
Many times I want to watch this, I want to see that, I want to see this, but because I don't mark it down, or like maybe put like a time on it, I
Mm-hmm.
don't get the notification. My own notification that works for me the best,
Right.
because
Right.
I can put a notification for somebody else, but if I do one for myself, it's like you have
Yes.
two authentication. So
Yes.
I said, oh, I remember when I put my phone on and it rings. I said, I
Yes.
know what that's for. I know.
Yes. And Keith, you just said it. You just said it. Okay. What I want your listeners to understand is that this is not my program.
Yeah.
So everything I'm sharing is who I am. You're the answer to those people who think they're slow. You're the answer to those people who feel I'm old and I have many things that I'm doing, like I just can't manage it all. But that's why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we are not required to walk another's path. We just need to be true about what we're doing on our path.
Yep.
And the only reason you need to be true is so that you can learn what you have available to you, what are the circumstances around it, so you can know how to navigate it.
There you go.
Right? So I'm not asking you these questions to call you out or slap you or flog you or whatever. Maybe that's how it feels. And it's okay for it to feel that way.
It feels like a beating. You beat me up
And it's
tonight.
okay. Sometimes that's how it feels, right?
Coach.
But the point of it is to help
But
those
I
people
get it. I get
realize
it.
that you're not here to pretend like you're me,
Yeah.
like you're running. You're here going at your pace because guess what happened, right? You didn't read it. But while your program may not have exactly covered exactly what was there, you're pretty close. Why?
And guess what? Guess what?
Because
Maybe, guess what? Coach, maybe
affiliation.
me not reading it was for somebody else to hear it as well. Because now it's
You
going
never
and it's
know.
now read.
But even bigger than that, Keith.
Oh my God, that's powerful.
When you interact with people, when you align with people,
Mm-hmm.
you ever hear this say that you become the average of the five close people you
Yes,
spend more
I've
time
heard
with?
that. I've heard that
Okay.
before. Yes.
Don't you think we have been interacting, we're part of the same network? Even if you're not catching every single message, if you're tuned in enough,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
moment will reach you.
Yep.
It will
Yeah.
still come out in your conversations.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes. So
still there.
I gotta work in that, Coach. I gotta work in that. I know we don't have a lot of time here remaining, but I
Yes,
gotta work in that. But I want to have you on again because I know you have a whole lot to share, and I mean, and there's a lot here we gotta give out because sometimes you only get one shot. Time is going
and maybe
fast.
sometimes this is what it calls for.
Yeah,
You
of
know what I say
course.
sometimes when I sit and I look at my private conversations, I think to myself, those discussions are the ones that should have been public.
Well,
That's where
hey,
the lists are.
many
So you never
times those
know.
are the ones that are most effective because
Yeah.
it goes right to the core. So I mean,
Yes.
I've said it many times, being here that I'm very layman in many ways.
Mhm.
I'm just not to take it personal, not taking anything away from the
Why
fact
don't
that I
you
can't.
why don't you talk about who you are rather
Right,
than
but yeah,
focus on who you're not,
yes, but
so that
I'm
your
saying it because many
audience
people,
can know.
yeah,
Right.
because they I when I say certain things, I know they understand what I'm saying, and I believe
Okay.
they
Got
understand when I say those things because it's like there's a book that I saw many years in high school, and he said, "Well, math for dummies, mechanic for
it.
dummies,
Right.
this I was like, it was so appealing,
Right.
not because it was within something someone's
I
intelligence.
love I like those books too.
It was saying, I make it simple that at least you can at least try, attempt it.
Right.
Because if this does the name alone, I say, okay, but it is not too bad. So
Right.
sometimes language can, it can play and have a little ways on it, but I think that when I say certain words,
And
I
I'm not
believe my
asking you to
audience,
change. You
I believe my
you be
yeah,
exactly who you are, do exactly what you're doing, and if it works for you,
yeah,
keep doing it.
yes. But I thank you for gracing us with your
Thank you for
gift,
having
your
me.
presence. Well taken, well
Hmm.
spoken. I got some
Right.
work to do myself, and I'm encouraging the audience, like I'm encouraging myself. That we all got to get to the next level. Keep working, keep pushing, never stop. You're always a blessing to be on this program,
May I
and
say one thing before I go?
yes,
Okay. I just want to say this one thing. You are exactly who you're meant to be. Whoever's listening to this, you are exactly who you're meant to be, exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. And if that works for you, do that.
that's
I
awesome.
and I want to share this for the record for even the persons who are a part of the network. I'm a part of people who are my clients, people who are connect with whatever. I'm always going to be who I need to be. And I heard somebody say this the other day: eat the meat and spit out the bone.
Yeah.
There's one thing I've learned. I've learned more recently. I've been learning for a while, but no, it has really hit. And when I tell you I'm there. I no longer look at someone and think potential. Oh, they could. Mm-mm. I don't even know if I see poverty anymore. I don't see
Mm,
homelessness anymore.
wow.
Wherever you are, that's where you want to be and that's where you ought to be.
Mm,
Until someone comes to me and say, "You ever watch the movie The Client when he handed her the $1
yes.
and he said to her, 'You're now my lawyer.'" Until somebody does that, I don't care.
Uh-huh.
And I mean it. Like I don't care. But what I do is I remain me. I don't allow any circumstances or any condition of anybody else to change who I am.
Yes, yes.
So I'll share what I have to share. And I say this: you don't have to take a thing from it,
Right.
not a word.
Yes.
But if you
But
want to get somewhere, find those whose words you want to hear, whose
yes.
words get you to move. Because regardless of who you are and where you are and the state you're in, if you're trying to get from one state to the next, then a transportation is required. And with that, that's all I'll say. Thank you for having me on your program.
Yes, you're welcome and thank you for stopping by. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, being real sometimes and you're gonna get that rubbing sometimes and you'll get that thing, but it's a part of the process, a part of the growth, is a part of the direction if we want to really win. Getting good in life is not always easy. It's always a learning process and going through the pains of it and the joys of it because it comes with all those things. This is officially right now one of my longest segments, and guess what? I'm having fun. I think it's great. I was challenged, and I think that sometimes to be challenged is a wonderful thing. It gives you a sense of going back and rehashing, rethinking, and say, what could I've done differently, or what can I do differently, or what can I change around and shuffle around, and just to make things be stronger in your own journey, better for your own journey, and make you more effective. Because, like I said, people are all watching, all right, and I think that the more that we are in tune with what we say and do, is the more the audience can also feel the effect of that and respond accordingly. So as you can see, I don't mind opening myself for any kind of insights or questions or that kind of thing, and it's a part of growth. And again, we do thank the coach for being on here tonight. As we're about to wrap up, we don't have a lot of time, a few minutes, and I want to say, we do have the things in our hands, those devices that we have, start using them. All right. They're not there only just to text and talk and maybe send an email here and there. I hear people say, well, folks are making websites within 10 seconds. They're building books within 19 seconds. And you asking ChatGPT questions like send me an email, write me a text. When you're saying we should be far beyond that, at least get beyond those things. So, network, look for me. I'll be coming at you hard this time. So when I come, you better open your door. I'll be knocking down them doors. But it was fun being here. But let me say before we close out this segment here that taking action is one of the most important things that we can do. Taking action. All right. So, like I said, do nothing. Like the coach says, sometimes feel safe. He feels okay. But in today's fast moving digital economy, doing nothing is actually the greatest risk. AI tools evolve daily. That's artificial intelligence tools. All right. And they come in many forms. And if that's about is in every industry. All right. All right. New opportunities appear constantly. It is. It does. And guess what? And new threats emerge just as quickly. That's crazy. Hesitation can cost you skills, income streams, and valuable connection. Small actions build strong protection. Well, folks, my final thought is this: you don't have to navigate the online world alone. That should be reassuring. That should be at least comforting. The smartest entrepreneurs surround themselves with trusted networks, mentors, and communities that help evaluate opportunities and identify risk. That's big. All right. They let experienced voices help decode the chaos. A lot of chaos out there, y'all. All right. And when that happens, right, they can focus on what matters most. They can now build value. All right. The minefields I mentioned about, they're real. The minefields are real, but so are the opportunities. With awareness, the right circle, and consistent action, you can move forward confidently. All right. You can be sure that you can move forward confidently. Again, thank you for being here with me on podcast episode 12. This is the next level with Keith. And your next move could very well begin right now. Thanks for coming. You take care. Be blessed. Be safe. See you on my next podcast. 13. Peace out.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.